secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew ya. She tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch, and evil truth I didn't come to fool ya. And even though it all went wrong, I stand before the Lord of song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Congratulations.
Welcome parents and outstanding students. We open the ceremony with the song Hallelujah. The lyrics and melody, Leonard Cohen. The song was sung by members of the IDC Choir, Eden Cohen and Elaz Wiesel. Let's have a hand for them. The IDC Choir was founded 9 years ago at the initiative of the students. Like most things around here, it's the initiative of the students, and it's managed by IDC graduate Tom Divon and student Maya Vorobyov. Today, the choir has 25 students from various schools, including the International School. The band performs at IDC events and at events of the Student Union. Now, by a show of hands, I'd like to know how many students in the audience here don't have any parents with them tonight? Okay. So all of these students have parents who are basically overseas. And what we need to do tonight is, General Gilad, you can take a seat up here. You outrank us. So basically, these students don't have their parents with them. So we're gonna film you tonight. You're gonna come up to the camera later and talk to your parents. We're gonna send it to them. And basically, we're gonna be your family tonight, okay? So Professor Reichman's gonna be your family. General Gilad is gonna be your family. And all of these other wonderful people up here, such as Dr. Yaron Timor and Dr. Alette Boyle and Dr. Leslie Terrace, and Dr. Talas Run and Professor Danny Levy and Dr. Yael Das. They're all going to be a family tonight. And so will all of the RIS team who happen to be here tonight. We're going to be your family tonight. So come up and get a hug from us every once in a while, okay? Because you deserve it. It's not simple being a lone student, let alone a lone soldier. Been there and done that. Okay, so we've had a great week here, actually, at IDC. We had an amazing Herzliya conference that took place here just a few days ago, which was run exquisitely by General Amos Gilad, who runs the Herzliya conference and the institute. It's also been fun to see Hatikva sung at Red Square a few days ago. It's also been fun to see Netta, who I knew I'd get your hand for. I was up till 3 in the morning because of you guys. I couldn't go to sleep because of you guys. So I was, yep, absolutely. And today, by the way, today here in Radziner Square, this morning we had a very inspiring ceremony to remember the Ethiopian Jews who perished on the way to Israel, 4,000 of them. So we held that ceremony right here where you're sitting right now. And I guess tomorrow is going to be an interesting day, but the American Embassy opens in Jerusalem. And then there's a couple of other events at the end of this week, which we hope we manage to get through in one piece, which we hope we do. Now this evening, and by the way, my name's Jonathan Davis, and I'm the head of the Raphael Recanati International School, and I'm vice president for external relations. So this evening we will honor the event with the annual Sarah and Zoltan Wind Lecture. The Sarah and Zoltan Wind Lecture is a tradition since the first excellence ceremony took place in 1996, which was initiated by Professor Yoram Jerry Wind, a global marketing expert at the Wharton School of Business. He's one of the founders of IDC Herzliya. Professor Reichman and Jerry Wind invented IDC Herzliya on the porch of Jerry Wind's late mother in Haifa. They drank tea and they had cake together and they came up with this idea, let's establish IDC Herzliya. That's called Academic Startup Nation. Okay, and Jerry Wind is also the chairman of the academic committee of the Interdisciplinary Center Herzliya, which is responsible for the academic decisions of IDC. And every year at this event, by courtesy of the Zoltan Wind family, the Sarah Wind Scholarship is awarded to the outstanding student on the president's list. And this year, the Sarah Wind Scholarship will be awarded to Dana Tal, third-year student at the Sammy Ofer School of Communications. And before Professor Reichman asks her to come up here, Professor Reichman is going to share a few words of wisdom with you. As you all know, Professor Reichman is the president and the founder of IDC Herzliya. He is the exemplar academic entrepreneur of the century in this country. And I am going to give the microphone over to him so that we can hear some words of academia and Zionism.
Thank you, Jonathan. My colleagues, General Gilad, outstanding students, family, friends. It is a source of pride and joy to stand here in front of you this evening. In order to be here, all of you had to demonstrate tremendous abilities, and the most important one of them is the inner strength, the willpower. All the achievements of mankind are the results, first and foremost, of willpower and perseverance. You can see a baby. Suddenly, somehow, he decides to crawl or decides to walk. Nobody tells him. And he tries. And he tries and time and over again, and he fails. And he doesn't give up. And he continues until he stands on his feet and starts walking. It comes from inner strength. And inner strength, that is the most important quality of mankind, to stand up and walk and do and believe in yourself. Not everyone has the same inner power. But for my life experience, it is the ultimate test and the best, the most important source of achievements. And it doesn't matter if that is directed to a physical experience or to intellectual pursuit, it is the power and the perseverance. But in order to be an outstanding student here, that is not enough. You all are persons that don't accept for granted whatever you are told. You have the ability to look into details, to draw your conclusions, to build theory out of all the details, to criticize other ideas. And the most important part is be creative. Be creative and move forward. In order to be creative, you have to be courageous. To be creative means to do things that others don't believe in. You have to be ready to change the status quo. Many people will tell you when you are creative that whatever you want to do will not work. But you have the inner power to say, okay, I'm ready to risk efforts in the future, to risk resources, and to move forward and be creative and change and be entrepreneurs. IDC is encouraging entrepreneurship, the intellectual entrepreneurship, the practical entrepreneurship, the social entrepreneurship, the economic entrepreneurship. It is the belief in yourself. We want to empower you that you will go into life, trust yourself and trust your friends and move forward and bring about a change. Don't just accept for granted what they tell you. Move ahead and demonstrate your abilities. Our role is to equip you with the knowledge, the know-how, how to succeed in what you do. And today it's very complicated to provide you all the needed elements in order to be active and successful in life. But even more, it's important for us to install in you the belief in yourself. And above all, IDC was established to convey a set of values that should escort you throughout your life. Morality, and no doubt, commitment to the needy and to the future of this country. We took a risk when we established IDC. Tremendous risk. We built it all without money and without government support, and we were very close to failure. And clearly, we doesn't have the upside side of a business venture. Once we finish our duty here, we go out without any shares, without any money. Your relatives and your children don't inherit anything. But it is evening as such, as this evening, that gives us all a feeling of tremendous remuneration, tremendous satisfaction for all the efforts that we are doing. And we are looking forward into your future. And I'm sure that among the public that's sitting here, you will hear many names of your classmates in the future that had an impact on their surrounding. I would like to speak especially on a unique young lady, unique even among you, the outstanding students, Dana Tal. Dana Tal finished this year in a horrible, grades. She just got 99 out of 100% in the average of all the exams. I don't know, somebody may be sitting here that dared not to give her 100%. Probably there must be somebody who didn't do it. But it would be a mistake to judge Dana only according to her achievements in the exams. A few months ago, we decided to start thinking of the future of education at IDC. The changes, as you know, are enormous, and you have to devise a new system of education with new ideas and so on. So we selected, write it down, 6 female students and 1 male student to consult with them. What should we do? How we should go forward? All the 7 were brilliant students. Dana Tal was one of them. And her remarks and her ideas supported our planning into the future. Dana is an exceptional person. She is not only an outstanding and brilliant student, she is a person with social commitment. She volunteered in providing, she was a technological instructor to survivors of the Holocaust. She volunteered in an orphanage in no other place than in Morocco. She studied in Spain as a high school. And again, she demonstrated from the very beginning the rare quality of having the 2 sides of knowledge. People are divided usually between a kind of analytical thinking abilities, scientific, going into details, trying to build theories and so on. It's true to social sciences and to other kind of biological sciences. And there is another way of thinking, which is called formal thinking, which is mathematical. It's computer science, it's mathematical. Dana has both. And in the high school already, she was interested in theater and biology, in English and mathematics, excelling in all of them. And at IDC, she took she studied for a BA at Raphael Recanati International School in communications. But in communications, she chose to deal with entrepreneurship and interactive digital media. At the Army service, she served in the Israeli Air Force Operations Center in one of the most important air bases in Israel, in Palmachim. Who knows the place knows that it has a lot of ground and air activities, and she was a shift manager, and as such, she took part in the Tzuk War. At IDC, she was working. She, among other things, took an intern in Google. Here she was a research assistant at the Media Innovation Lab. She took upon herself to work in our, she was an editor in our website, in the IDC website. And later on, she took upon herself to manage the IDC Alumni Association website. We had to find all the addresses in order to be. And I can speak a lot about her, studying, working, creatively, being assistants. And she is one of the major thinkers. She is an artist. If she, I know, tonight she should be exempt of coming up and singing, but she is an amazing young lady, and I ask her, please, to come to the stage. תודה, מגיע לך הכל, באמת, את עושה הכל.
Thank you, Donna. You are part of the Reichman spirit. And we love lone soldiers like you. How many lone soldiers in the audience, by the way? By a show of hands. I can see we have a platoon here, at least. So we're in good shape. I think we can depend on you to protect us. Okay, so which brings me to the situation in the Middle East right now, which is challenging and interesting. And we're actually very, very lucky this evening to have had Professor Reichman address the outstanding students of the Raphael Recanati International School, because there are all these other schools. He can't make it to every school. But this year, he made it to the Raphael Recanati International School, and I'm really happy to tell you that in addition to him, we have a General Amos Gilad, who's also come to address you. And General Amos Gilad is one of the best things that's happened to this campus recently, and Professor Uriel Reichman had the wisdom to convince him to come to IDC Herzliya in order to head the Institute for Policy and Strategy. He ran the Herzliya conference, as we say in Hebrew, Beyad Ramah uBezro'a Netuya. He's a former director of policy and political military affairs in the Ministry of Defense. He's got 30 years or more of IDF service behind him. He was the head of Military Intelligence Research Division. He was the coordinator of government activities in Judea and Samaria. He was the military secretary of the late Yitzhak Rabin. He was an IDF spokesperson. And he's a lecturer at IDC Herzliya, and from what I understand, one of the most popular lecturers. And there's a huge waiting list, actually, to get into his class, so you need protectia to get into his class. I will tell you one more thing about General Gilad. A, he's a walking dictionary. And B, he's one of these generals who is just one of us. He talks to us on the same level, and he's got a great team over there at IPS. And without any further ado, I will say one more thing to you. If you intend to go overseas in the near future, and you want to sound like you're making sense, okay, listen to what General Gilad says, because it's like the most common sense and the most practical tips. And so for the next 20 minutes or so, he's going to give you an update on what the heck is going on around here, because last time I checked, one or two things happened here last week. General Gilad.
Very dangerous. Good evening. Please repeat it in my funeral. I hope you're not exaggerating. It's a great honor to meet with you, not for the sake of politeness. 20 minutes to describe the Middle East. I need 20 hours, but that's what I do have. So let's begin with good news and bad news. There is good news. First of all, Dana, applaud her. I'm so impressed. As many as Dana we do have, we are secured in this county. So thank you for being here. Now, the good news is that until recently, we have lived peacefully and quietly in this county. Since decades, the level of terror is the lowest one. Since decades, all our borders are quiet. It seems strange, but that's true. Even with Hezbollah, in Golan Heights, usually the borders are quiet. Regular armies, unlike the past, are not threatening Israel. That's the result of our wars. I don't believe it. I've dealt with it very intensively. The Arab countries have become our friends, family, like family. Family of Middle East, don't misunderstand me. Family in Middle East means that he can kiss me in the morning, kill me at noon, sending flowers in the evening, and vice versa. However, based on many reasons, the Arab countries are identifying Israel as ally and not enemy. When I began with my career in the military, I couldn't believe it. And I was involved in all these efforts to change their position. One of the main reasons is that we do have common enemy, Iran. Iran has some advantages. It's uniting us and the Arabs. Who could imagine? This is really crazy world, but very challenging. Never a dull moment. We do have a flourishing economy. We do have tourists because of the tranquility in Israel. And we do have a unique relationship with US. Our relationship with US under any president, we are used to consider it as major pillar in our national security. Everybody thinks he knows about our real relationship, but many parts are hidden, and that's real power. We have developed many alliances with even European countries. I'm talking about security. I don't want to continue because it's boring. Good news is boring. When I used to be IDF spokesperson, there used to be newspapers that was called Good News. After 3 days, it was under Chapter 11 before it collapsed after 3 weeks. Today, because you are better than me, my cautious assessment, it could collapse after 3 seconds. That's the good news. We need to keep it. However, like weather, you know, all the birds are singing every day. There is orchestra of parrots mainly. And we are living in excellent weather like today, but the forecast says heavy clouds are approaching us. Unlike forecast, we can change it. And what are the challenges? Unprecedented, and I consider it as potential very bad news. Iran used to be our best friend. You cannot imagine. That's Middle East. And they have changed totally. This is religious ideological regime that is determined to destroy Israel. It sounds like propaganda, but it's true. They are determined and religiously. This is the regime in Tehran today. Whenever they say, we want to destroy Israel, they mean it. The timetable is changing from time to time. Now, we are living in very sensitive period of time. Iranians have just completing building up half of Lebanon as what we call Hezbollah. Hezbollah is extension of Iran with 120 or 30,000 rockets. And now they're trying to build the second layer. The second layer are missiles. The difference between missile and rocket, the rocket is stupid weapon. That's why they want to launch them in quantities. and missile is accurate. Missile can hit this place. The third phase is to build second Hezbollah in Golan Heights. Golan Heights is very close to Israel. By the way, we are very close to Damascus. Unlike previous war, we are on our IDF is deployed 50 kilometers from Damascus, the capital of Syria. And the fourth phase will be bringing Shiite militias. The Iranians do have inclination, very strange one. They are ready to fight until the last Shiite, whoever he is, Afghani, Pakistani, Lebanese, but he must not be Iranian. And the most important is building the nuclear military weapon. Why it's so dangerous? First of all, this is the only threat that in Israel, at least in my opinion, we need to consider as potential existential threat, because nuclear is very dangerous. Secondly, you cannot imagine, we do enjoy unbelievable deterrence vis-a-vis all our enemies, because they do think we do have strategic capabilities to destroy any combination of our enemies. The moment they get nuclear, the Iranians, will we look like Samsung after the visit in the barber shop, if you understand what I mean, namely helpless. Thirdly, the Arabs hate the guts of Iran, Persians especially. And in Arabic you say Ajami. Ajami is Persian, Ajna, it means strange, but mainly Persian, but in very deep meaning. Namely, they hate them. The moment they get nuclear, the Arabs they follow them. I cannot imagine Saudi Arabia. That used to be our assessment long time ago. However, they are declaring it openly. And the moment all Arab countries with all their wide depths, strategic depths, get nuclear, we will be in trouble. We will lose our deterrence. And this will pave the way for wars. And I get back to good news. The good news is we are very powerful. And what's happening now, this week is historic week. The Iranians have built secretly military infrastructure that was aimed to hit Israel from both sides. It was built secretly, and we knew about it based on our intelligence secretly. And the moment there was confrontation, we destroyed all their infrastructure in Syria, including many, many qualitative, secret, dangerous bases in the Golan Heights. That's great success. They are under trauma. Never be smug. That's a lesson from our intelligence. That's a lesson from history. Never be smug. The Iranians are vicious. They are determined, as I've mentioned. However, in this round, that's why with all the cautiousness that is needed, I do think they will be very cautious not to deal with us in the Golan Heights. That's very important, because if we waited until they get the real power, we would pay intolerable price. It's also deterrence vis-a-vis Lebanon. That's about Iran today. The declaration of Mr. Trump about the agreement between US and Iran is very complicated, because maybe Iran might find itself, United States might find itself isolated from the other parts of the world. However, if we do enjoy the support of US to defeat this Iranian threat, that's very important. We need to be very smart, not smug, humble, and so on. Let's look at the south. In the south, Hamas, another vicious, they are Sunnis and the Iranians are Shiites. They are determined also to destroy Israel. All of them want to destroy Israel. And the Hamas now in very delicate stage from strategic point of view, because they are determined this week to send thousands of Palestinians to cross the border. Why it's so important? Because there is image of Israel that Israel well protected. If people, ordinary people, can destroy the fences or the walls, it means there is no deterrence. That's why that's very critical this week. We must prevent what they are determined to do, to cross the border, to kill as many as Israelis they can, and maybe to commit suicide acts of terror, other acts of terror, to kidnap soldiers. We need to defeat them. And the strategic plan of Hamas is to set fire all over the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv. I'm not sure you know that every week they're trying to commit suicide acts of terror. You don't hear about it because we do enjoy upper hand in intelligence. So we are catching them before they act. In Israel, to be terrorist is not recommended profession, unlike criminals. It depends who has the responsibility. So if you consider to be terrorists, my recommendation, be criminals, because half of them are not arrested even. I hope the police will not hear about it because I'll find myself in trouble. But based on Jonathan's request, I'm sharing with you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that's the truth. So this week, it's very critical, essential. We are deployed with full steam. We are deployed with clear orders, and we need to win this round. Otherwise, we will be in very bad news period of time. The inauguration of the embassy, it depends what will happen, what will follow it. The Palestinians and the Palestinian Authority, they are living in their feeling is that they don't have light in the tunnel, and they are deteriorating, and that's what Hamas wants to take advantage of. I don't have the time to elaborate it, but it's a great challenge, because now we are living in the most sensitive period of time that we might become one state with all the Palestinians. That's one dimension. Or the Hamas will inspire the declining Palestinian Authority to take violent measures against Israel. So that's why it's another very dangerous and sensitive. I would like to jump for a moment to our relationship with the Arabs. I would like to demonstrate to you what does it mean. If you look eastward, our security border is not the Jordan River. It's the border between Iraq and Jordan. Look at the map. This is very far away from him. This is strategic depths of Israel based on unique relationship we have developed with the Arabs. Arabs, I mean Egypt, Jordan, Gulf states. If you check, if you measure the level of hatred in Saudi Arabia against Israel, it's unbelievable. It has declined since Mohammed bin Salman has become the crown prince that may become the king. It's based on common enemies, and that's we need to continue to cultivate because it's unnatural. It might change, and we need to keep it and to deepen it. It's a very difficult mission. One word about Russia. Russia is not considering Israel as strategic partner, but we do have with them very fruitful dialogue. That's a great achievement. And we are not hitting the Russian. It's not recommended for our health. And practically, they are not intervening with our operational activities in the Golan Heights. Altogether, I would like to summarize and to share with you the bottom line. We are living in the best period of time, but we are living in the most challenging period of time. And if we are not successful in coping with those challenges, we might find ourselves in a very terrible situation. We do have some assets that I would like to share with you. First of all, the determination of the Israeli public. The fact that you are studying in the IDC and you are in Israel, it's a strategic factor in our national security. It sounds maybe to you exaggeration, that's my opinion. And I mean it. That's one. Secondly, we do have unprecedented, powerful Air Force. Unprecedented, powerful army, armed forces. We do have, unlike the past, very humble military leadership, that never boast about anything, and they are determined to achieve the prosperity and security for Israel. We are state of art in science and cyber and other issues, but focusing on security, we are cooperating with the whole world based on our reputation. And for the Israeli armed forces, that's very important. I give you one example that is worldwide Guinness. Tunnels. Tunnels are primitive weapon, but very efficient. The Hamas have developed tunnels that were supposed to enable groups of terrorists, let's say 20 terrorists, to enter kibbutz with 400 inhabitants and to murder them. Can you imagine what could happen to Israel? The whole world didn't find solution like Iron Dome to missiles to these tunnels. We knew generally where they have been located. Now we know how to locate them and to destroy them. That deprives, based on technology, the strategic card, namely the capability to kill many Israelis. That's very equivalent to Iron Dome and the whole family of the Arrow. The last operation in Gaza, we intercepted all rockets, and it gave Israel the possibility not to enter and take over Gaza. Do you know what does it mean to take over Gaza? I was responsible for Gaza in my career twice. That's a mess. Take over Gaza. Okay, it's like swallowing the whole cow instead of the steak. You get shocked. Who will take care of the sewage, the unemployment, the lack of water, and so on, shortage of water? So you need to be very smart, and we do have these cards. These cards you need to keep and cultivate. That's why institutes, I'm new here, I'm a newcomer, but the IDC is the symbol of quality. It's very important because this quality, based on education, it's the basis of our achievements. So altogether, we are living in the best period of time, and we are living in the most challenging period of time. I would like to wish you all the best and to thank you for being here. And thank you very much, and good night.
I want to thank General Gilad. You can just imagine this last week, the Herzliya Conference being run by General Amos Gilad. For 3 full days, we just had deliberations like this. It was a great way to educate ourselves. If there are any parents out there in the audience who would like to come to the Herzliya Conference next year, please come up and see me. You can register, come to the conference, get educated, and interact with people from all over the world, movers and shakers, meet the leaders of this country. That's part of what IDC is all about. So I would like to thank General Gilad. Let's have a hand for General Gilad. I think when we know that there are people like General Gilad around who have done what they've done and continue to do what they do, and are best friends with some of the leaders here in the Middle East, and know how to speak their language, and know how to be modest, and know how not to be boastful, and basically consider the values of the IDF as they are, the humanistic Zionist values of the IDF, then I think that's a tremendous advantage and achievement for all of us. And now it is my pleasure basically to invite the heads of the programs and student administration and staff to confer the certificates. And I'm going to call on Stephanie Miller, who has a South African accent. Okay, Stephanie Miller has a South African accent from Paarl. Paarl is near Stellenbosch. They make wine there. And her dad used to make wine barrels. So he was called a cooper. A cooper is a wine barrel maker. So the daughter of the wine barrel maker will be reading out what she needs to read out. And with this, I rest my case and thank you.
I cannot be in competition with you. So I wish you a very pleasant evening. Good luck, and you are wonderful. We are proud with each and every one of you. Have a good night. Bye.
Okay. Can I start? Good evening. We will be calling the students according to their GPA in descending order. We will start with the business students. I would like to invite Dr. Yaron Timur and Einat Shaw to confer the certificates. First year, Joshua Klein. Joshua Kenner. Ben Terem. Raphael Kuchikovic. Ronen Einbinder. Barak Ben Yaakov. Beatrice Baumfeld. Dror Baraket. Sapir Tori. Military Reserves Scholastic Distinction, Topaz Levy. Second year, Matan Oppenheim. Ariel Felsen. Esther Hanon. Carl Trabelsi. Ruut Rotem. Natalie Ivgi. Patricia Feher Brand. Tamar Cohen. Max Kane. Yael Florenthal. Noam Yitzhaki. Harrison Grass. Stanley Block. Noam Peleg. Third year, David Shabatinsky, Barbara Cohen, Elisa Cohen Solal, Roy Kerem, Yuming Pan, Ornella Siso, Ariel Abraham, Raquel Israel, Rebecca Miriam Asaraf, Dalia Diab Abu Ghosh Borja, on to the dual major in business and economics. We would like to call to the stage Gal Borsak to join Dr. Timur to confer the certificates to the outstanding students in the Business Administration School. First year, Noam Spialta, Daniel Gillinson, Deborah Nasser, Dolev Rottenberg, Military Reserve Scholastic Distinction, Ido Shaya, Second year, Sarah Yanet, Diego Halegua, Uriah Kalman. Nobody? Now I would like to invite Dr. Elette Boyle and Michal Walters to confer the certificates to the computer science outstanding students. First year, Idan David, Gon Halamish, Yotam Avraham. Second year, Omri Kal, Yuval Alaluf, Adi Schindler, Ronnie Tamir, Rom Cincinnati, dual degree in computer science and business administration, Maxime Lass. I would like to invite Dr. Leslie Terrace and Debbie Joel to confer the certificates to the government outstanding students. First year, Kelly D. Otis, Eyal Stern, Noam Ostfeld, Menachem Cole, Karen Gutman, Veronica Bekvarova, Shai Kessler, Yes. Second year, Rebecca Gerger, Yael Abraham Iregev, Nicole Berry, Michael Peterson, Maya Azar, Ido Levy. What is that? That's what I wanted you to do.
Cute kids, huh?
Yeah. Very. Third year, Jonathan Sperling, Penny Grunsade, Louis Scher, Haley Zola, Deborah Moyal, Military Reserve Scholastic Distinction, Tim Jenkins. Wow. I would like to invite Dr. Tal Azran and Dina Eilenberg to confer the certificates to the communications students. First year, Ronnie Adar, Nicole Anderson, Kaylee Amaya, Hartley Schwartz, Angelina Kazmaya, Marina Yakubova, Andrea Krolevich, Anouk Derosia Rossell, Axel Azulai,
Another genius. Another genius.
Daphna Hoffman, Alice Abulka, Olin Hasson,
Someone smoking. Matt? Matt? יש אחד או שתיים, אבל יש...
second year, Mai Grably, Carmel Slavin, Anna Wojcikowska, Sergio Rezvani, Gil Ben-Shlush, Natalie Sampson, Uri Edel,
No.
Lital Shoshan, Paula Rubenstein, Noam Schulman, Luana Buga,
Is that it?
they're still third year.
But there's still 3 of them to go up.
Lucy Anderson, third year. Noy Lieb, Sapir Siegel, Penina Grobart, Yael Gruzman, Shar Leib, Michelle Suchowalski, Samara Sohn, Maya Tenenbaum, Tali Buskila. I would like to invite Professor Daniel Levy to confer the certificates to the psychology students. First year, Naftali Rosenbaum. Miriam Shatner. Romina Stiglitz. Nurit Belurai. Shai Baharav. Libby Grinfeld. Neta Bartal. Second year, Ella Leslau. Maytal Rothschild.
Your babysitter.
Valerie Kostavetsky. Bailey Schuster. Jonathan Salman. Third year, Yaakov Greenwald, Heather Chadwick, Joseph Waldman, Yael Vertenthal, Ariel Liviatan, Liel Weissman, Liel Posen, Jessica Cohen, Danielle Posen,
Go Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zimbabwe.
Go Salisbury. Don't even know what Salisbury is.
no,
What else is left?
Economics, business student.
People don't wait around, huh?
No, they don't. Not
I
nice.
think we can't see them.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
And last but not least, the economics business students. I would like to invite Dr. Yael Hadass and Gal Borsak to confer the certificates to the outstanding students in the economics school. First year, Dolev Rottenberg, Noam Spialta, Deborah Nasser, Lee Masika, Military Reserve Scholastic Distinction, Roy Kestenbaum. Second year, Timothy Nikitan Sheen, Zoe Corrin, Sarah Zaynat, Yaynat,
Brazil.
Okay. Let's have a hand for all of the staff of the student administration here. Let's have a hand for the RIS. Let's have a hand for your parents. Without your parents, you couldn't pay the tuition, half of you. Okay? And for all of the parents overseas, we'll be in contact with you. We'll send you the video clips and everything by the end of this week, hopefully. Erev Tov lekulam, Tam hatekes, drive safely, and let us meet on joyous occasions. Happy Jerusalem Day.